We've had lots of pickups over the weekend. This is a Commodore 64 that's from the Blackpool Expo. I picked this up off one of the stalls. I'll mention the stall a little bit later on. I brought it home, I've tried it, and it does not work. I'll show you. Right, so I'm just going to switch it on. You can see the screen up there. All we get is a black screen. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more, just the black screen. So what I'm going to do now is put the dead test cartridge in, and let's see if that makes a difference. Now we know that the dead test cartridge doesn't always respond immediately. You've got to give it a little while before it comes on. If you can't do anything, it'll go straight into its flashy codes, and we've got one flash. Look, that's a very strange flash. So we ain't got much there, have we, apart from a pink screen. So something else I noticed and all, which I will try and get you in shot for. If you can see that power switch, it's light. If I switch it on and move this about, oh, it's not now, but it did earlier. When I moved it around, it was flashing on and off, so it will lead me to think that it wasn't actually switching on properly. No, but it was. Maybe it was just a bad connection or dirty or something like that, but it has come round now. But as you can see, we've still got the black screen issue. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to open this up and let's take a look inside it. Right, I've done nothing but slacken the screws off so you can see inside it at the same time as me. I'm just going to drop the screws, collect them out of the way. So that's scratching anything. So you're now seeing inside this C64 for the first time, like me. So let's pop this open. Oop, what have we got at the back? We've got some good strong hinges. Oh, what have we got? It's a 250407 board. So just to get rid of this keyboard out of the way. We've got a SID in a socket. One chip in a socket. The rest of them are all on the board. Oh, brilliant. I want to take the board out of here because I do want to have a look at the connections at the other side of that board where the power socket is, just to make sure that that's okay. But what I'll do first is, because the SID is known to give a black screen, so I'm going to pull the SID out and see if it boots again first. So that's our SID, and we've got a 6581, and that looks like 23rd week 83. We'll have a look on the board and see if we can see any more manufacture dates. 26 week 83. Moss chips. 32nd 83. Yeah, okay. So it must got to be an 83 system. Right, let's see if that works without the SID in. No. So we know that the SID is not stopping it from booting. Let me see if I can just get mine down and we'll take a look and see if this SID actually works. And we've got a ZIF board to test it. If you've watched one of the other videos, you'll see me actually building this one up. I think what I'll do is first is I'm just going to pop that cap off and take the VIC out of it as well, so we can test it in the ZIF board. So here goes the SIF board. I put it in the right way around. Make sure it's off. We're off. We'll just do a test power up to make sure we've got something on the screen at least when we first start it, but it should be fine, should this one. So on we go with the screen. There we go, it fires up. Right, so what I'll test first is the VIC. We'll just check that VIC first, so move that out. Put that back in. Does it work? Yay! We've got a working VIC chip. At least we know that's eliminated. Just check it again just in case. And yes, we've got that. Now we want to check this SID, so I'm going to have to pop that out first and swap it over. Let's just make sure it starts first, yeah? Yep, fires up. So we can put the dead test in because that might do a SID check. Give you the SID sounds. So we'll just have a look. So yeah, I'll skip us forward on that. It just no point. There's no sound check, I don't think. So let's just put J.T. Thompson's Decathlon in. Well, we've got a working SID. Yay! So we've got a working SID. We've got a working VIC. Now we've got to diagnose what's wrong with that other board. What do we go for first? Well, we know that the dead test needs 3 working chips. One is the CPU, one is the PLA, and one is the VIC chip. That's all that needs for that to run. So we've eliminated the SID that gives us black screen sometimes, and we'll have eliminated the VIC out of there. I did say I'd let you know what was on that VIC. I'll see if I can see what it is. 65659 R1, and again it's 23rd 83. So I would say it's pretty much a genuine system, is that. So just give it a quick test again. Put all the chips back in. We've got the VIC back in and the SID back in. It could have been a plucky pin on or something like that. Just removing them and replacing them could bring it back to life. Slim chance, but let's have a look. No. We've still got a bad chip somewhere. I would suspect that that's either a CPU or the PLA that's actually soldered into this board. Oh, you see, I got a flash on the screen then. I'm going to take a look at that power socket at the bottom. So, power socket. So I don't know whether you can see on there or not, but that says power switch, and that says pins there for the power socket. I think the mic are cracking around that area, so I'm just going to go back over. I've just looked through the microscope. My eyes aren't brilliant, but I think we're going to go back over these ones and take a look. So I'm just going to solder them up and just flow some solder back into them again, and then we'll check the board over. a bit blobbed, but it's downside better than what it was. So let me just put this stuff away and we'll see if it fires up. Right, so I've got it plugged back in again. We've soldered that back up again. Let's see if it comes on. No. So then, let's have a look, see if we can see some voltage around the board. So, negative there. What have we got coming out of this 5-volt regulator? And we've got 4.9. And what have we got coming out of this 12-volt regulator? We've got 11.8. So that's okay. Let's measure across the user port. We're 5-volt up there. So we've got as voltages around the board. So all it can be now is one of the chips. We've got voltages around the board. With power connectors working over there. So it's going to be a case of desoldering the PLA first, I would have said. We can move on and have a look at an oscilloscope to see what's happening, to see whether we've got a clock, because if we haven't got a clock, the dead test 1 cartridge wouldn't work either. But it's highly unlikely that we've not got a clock at all. It's quite rare that you've not got clocks. We can usually fix these things by just standardly doing things like this, what we're doing now. So, but yeah, that I reckon that PLA is going to come out. But I think we should do some tests, more tests on the board first before we progress into that. Right, so it's only been a few seconds for you, but it's been almost a week for me. In fact, a bit longer, I would have said. Right, we was at where we had tested the VIC chip, and we had tested the SID chip in the ZIF socket. I have been in touch with the guys that I purchased this from. I'll pop a picture just up there so you can have a look. They was very apologetic, and we could come to an arrangement where they did a partial refund towards it. So I'm quite happy for that. Thank you very much, guys, for sorting that out. I've sent you a message to let you know exactly what was wrong with this one. Right, so with it being a bit of time that's passed away, what I have come up with is, we said that we needed to dig into it a little bit more, and I was going to get the scope out and have a look at it. Right, but thinking about it logically, we know for the dead test to run, we needed the CPU, the PLA, and the VIC. So we've eliminated the VIC because we tested that in the ZIF socket, so that's fine. So that left us with either the 6510 CPU, or it left us with the PLA. So I decided to take a gamble, because we all know what these PLAs are like. Yeah, okay, the CPU does go down. The PLA wasn't socketed neither, so I would rather have a socket in that PLA, because if I sell this on, then somebody's going to actually want to be able to change that at some point. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump the gun, and I'm going to go straight for that PLA. So what I've done is I've pulled the PLA out and I installed a socket, so that can be interchanged. So I didn't have another PLA, so I had to get hold of another one, which I got this one off eBay. They're cheap enough. They're only about £8 these days. Yeah, okay, you've seen me make stuff before. Maybe I could have ordered a load of these things, got the GAL chips, done it all, put it all together, soldered it up and put it in. But there's lots of videos out there for making these GAL PLAs. Just search up on YouTube and I'm sure you'll find one how to make these. And to save my time, I decided it were only £8 anyway, so I bought it off eBay. So we're going to put that in. All you need to do is just line up the pin legs like that, and we give it a shove, and it's in. Just check that all the pins are in and they're not stuck out anywhere silly. Yeah, that looks good. And it's in. Now, on top of that, I started thinking, you know, the guys that I purchased it from said he'd tested it. He took it into the shop, plugged it in, and tested it, or asked them to, and he was hoping that they'd not just done a power on test, which basically plug the power supply in and see if the light comes on. I tested the power supply, and if you look at that picture there, look at that. So we've got, this is one of the lines. I can't remember which way around it is now. I will have a look, and I will try and put a text thing across bottom which it is. But we've got one picture there, and maybe that's the 5-volt line, or it could be the 9-volt line. That picture there is the other one. So we've got 17 volts and almost 21 volts going through that system. So if they only did a power on test, then it could quite possibly have blown that C64. It might have been a working one before, because they did say it was working. And it might have been used with a different power supply. I don't know. But that power supply, banging all that voltage out, that is now in His Majesty's waste limo, currently known as the wheelie bin outside. So never ever, guys, use them original power supplies. If you're going to use it, make sure you test the voltages on them. You know, and then it's a ticking time bomb, it's a risk, you know, but you can use it sort of thing if you've tested it until you get a new one. But I do urge you to get a new one straight away. So in the time of me ordering this one, I started looking at the case. So please ignore the badges, because I've already stolen them. This was the actual one that I picked up. As you can see, the marks in here. This one that you can see that it's sat in here is the original one from this one. So I took the badges off the one I purchased and put them onto this keyboard. I said with the power one to the back. I've also swapped the serial labels over as well, so it keeps this original as I can, because we do have the original receipt for this. It was sold in 1983. So it would be nice to try and keep that in keeping, if you know what I mean. This case, it's battered. It's long gone. You can see the burn marks in there for the cables where it's been wrapped round. So it's dog rough, to be honest. I think the latches, are they okay? Yeah, it does latch okay. So it may be an attempt to retro bright, but what do you do about these? What do you do about them? You know. So that was the old case. The spacebar broke when I tried changing them over. So that's not a problem at all. The motherboard that you can see that's inside this one, if you saw my video of how to convert C64 to PAL to NTSC to NTSC to PAL, the motherboard came from this one that I've just shown you now. That's that case. That's in here, quite confusing, isn't it? So that one came from. So this case that it's in now came from under a rubble pile on a military base in America, and the motherboard is absolutely shot. It's rotten to hell. I think Gary sent me it over, if I remember rightly, because I was needing an NTSC VIC chip, and because I was building that, how to convert a PAL to NTSC, and why would I do that? So there's that video there. If I remember, I'll try and put a link at the very end when it suggests the videos, so you can have a look at that video if you want. So, back to this C64. So now we've got the PLA in, and we can put the keyboard back together. Yep. We'll just pop it down. And you can see it looks quite clean, and it is. It looks very, very clean and tidy now. So that's looking good. So I'm just going to pan you up to the TV screen, and we'll see if it switches on. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Bing! Yay! It's alive! So just to test, to see if everything works all okay, we've got Ghostbusters, and we've got Goonies. And we'll see if these work. Well, we'll go for Goonies first, because that should come up pretty quick. I know Ghostbusters has to load. So, Goonies. Wow. Turn that volume up a bit. So the SID sounds good, everything seems to be working all okay. Let's try the Ghostbusters, because this one has to load differently into memory. Nice. So you can see Ghostbusters loads up perfectly fine. So that's one C64 that's actually finished now, and it's all up and running. So thanks for watching another episode of the 8-Bit Retro Refix. Don't forget to check the links in the description below. We have got a new Discord channel. You are all welcome to come and join us. Everybody is welcome, and we will be picking random people to come on our live stream at the end of the month if they want to come and have a talk with us. It should be quite interesting. So you could be one of the lucky people that gets randomly picked. That's coming up in the future though. And also don't forget to check out the YouTube Retro Repairers group. That's actually in the description. You'll find the links there for Captain Commodore, Josip Retro Bits and Retro for You. They all do some great stuff. Everybody does great stuff, to be honest. But have a go, if you like this kind of stuff and repairing computers and things, even a bit of programming, go check them guys out. So that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one.